big data, blockchain, so you can see different booths. So this event is a big data expo in Guiyang for many years. We talk about the previous years. We talk about the facial recognition or the payment by the facial recognition and e-government. Actually, all these already part of our daily life. What we bring to you, our viewers, today we will talk more about the new technologies, new products, which will be part of our life in a very short time period. So, to start our show, let's look at our first booth, of course, CMG. So this is the booth for CMG. You look at the CCTV and CGTN, and also CNR and the CRI. So I can tell you a long line up here. This is the longest line. I can see there are more than 50 people gathering here. What are they looking for? Booths. It feels really good, right? So look at actually we had a screen in front of us. So I believe everyone actually have the same script. So that's kind of like a cheat sheet in front of you. So like you can really read the lines. So did you have this experience before? Like a anchor. This is my first time, my debut show. So what are you waiting for? I'm waiting for videos and pictures. I think maybe we have a video clip. Can we have a look? So as long as you download a app or so you scan the code and you can see your video clip. So you are the main anchor for the news show. So this is in the 4K studio, and this year celebrate the 70th anniversary of China's the establishment of the People's Republic of China. So I think this is really fine. So of course I will share this in my moment. So my friends can see my show. This is my news show, and I hope my friends like it. Alright, we still can see there a long line up here. This is in front of our CMG booth. So you can see CCTV, CNR, CRI, and of course CGTN. So this is an app. So you can download it and you can find out more in this app. So there are a lot of quite interesting content through this app, and of course we'll also have the most updated economic news. So if you're interested, please stay tuned, and also please also download the app. So we also have a lot of news actually well published, and of course through our CGTN app as well. Okay, let's continue our journey. So let's look at what's next to us. So when we speak of big data, with these many years of development, of course, actually you can see the big data plus other industries. So you can see they actually create a lot of synergies. Look about the big data plus agriculture, plus industry, plus tourism. So you can see actually a lot of this kind of traditional industries already have a big progress. So you look at this is actually the big data plus space. So we talk about the aerospace here. So this is Mr. Yang. So please show us a little bit. And we know actually big data actually already really penetrated with other industries. So talk about your industry, your sectors, how really big data support you, how really help the traditional industry to help them to increase their efficiency. All right. So we talk about our aerospace platform. This is a cloud platform, and this is the first and also the industry leading cloud platform. This is online plus offline, products plus service. So of course we focus on industry. So this is from the Aerospace Science and the Industry Group. So through this big screen, can we talk a little bit how exactly big data can help our companies? From which aspect we can really see the effects brought by big data. So this is a Xunda intelligent manufacturing platform, and this company actually is the second largest manufacturer in the sector. So their size is really huge, but actually they've also faced a lot of DA programs. We talk about really the whole manufacturing process should be under control, and we talk about whether we can really have that live monitoring through all different sectors in the company. So we talk about their pain points, and we have these kind of quite intelligent process. You can see actually this is our control platform. We look at actually this is we control, and we'll look at their quality. So we also actually first establish the big data base. So let's look at the quality control. We know quality is so important. So we first have a database. So we talk about what is the key factors to impact the quality. So we actually bring all these into the big database. We look at what exactly the showstoppers. So we bring all these inside the system. Of course, there are so many different factors. So based on the big database, we collect all these data for the previous 2 to 3 years. So look at what kind of product, from whom. So you look at actually per year, per week, per month, and we also can locate to each person for each individual. You look at this is a person's name. So we have this ranking, so we will know who exactly the person have the highest rate in the defective products. So through this, actually, we really encourage our individuals, our workers, to focus more on quality. And we collect all these information. You look at this is actually the reason behind the defective. So this is all our learnings. So we make sure all the lessons learned and also make sure we not have the same mistake happen again. So this is the main purpose in why we have this system. So this is how big data help the factory or the companies control the quality. And let me also show you another example. So look at this is the shift of workers. So we know exactly their list of work, their to-do list, what kind of products they will produce today. And then we look at the whole manufacturing line, look at all the equipment. You look at, actually, we also rely on IoT. So at the backstage, our system, we look at all the operation data. So some individuals actually have a low ratio. So you also know exactly which area that need more like training or that also links to their KPI. But more important, what we want to really through this system, we want to really learn the reason of low efficiency and also which areas or where's the room for further improvement. And you also can click into the details. So look at this is our equipment. So you look at for the green part, that means operating smoothly. So you look at this is all in color green. So we also can see that when we have the right alert, and we will know what is the reason behind. Is the overcapacity or maybe the equipment is malfunction. Actually, we can collect all this information based on big data. We know actually big data really can help the companies through different sectors. So why do you think actually big data can really easily cope with other industries? So we take industry as an example. So this is a traditional industry. A lot of historic data actually had a quite long history, and they also have the difficulties. We talk about the capacity, how they can increase capacity, how they can better control the quality, how to really improve people's capabilities. Actually start from 1990s. We really want the offline online way to help our traditional industries to improve their performance. Of course, we made progress for many years, but still we have quite a long way to go. So Guizhou, because of the government, local government, really support us to really spend a lot of efforts in big data. So that is also why we focus more on digital, because digital holds the key. We talk about a digital bank for manufacturing industries. This is a new concept. Actually, a lot of concepts didn't exist for this kind of traditional industries. So right now, through big data, we really educate the managers in the traditional industries to let them focus more and understand why we need those data and how data help them. So they can increase their efficiency, so they can have better products with better qualities. Through a lot of cases, actually, we know and we found that over the 100 cases actually will help them to increase their efficiency by 30%. And also look at the quality, will also help them to increase by 20%. So over 100 cases we conducted before. This is a really good result we got. So we talk about actually based on the analysis of data, we not only focus on the whole manufacturing process, we look at also how we can really help them to do a better job moving forward. We talk about the industrial upgrading. Of course, they should focus more on digital part. Thank you so much. It really help us to know how big data help our manufacturing or traditional industries and what exactly the result we got. Thank you so much. So as our expert introduced, big data, based on the data collection, we talk about, of course, we should first establish the big data base. We can focus on, like, we have the sensors on the equipment, also the assembly line, the production line. We all have this kind of sensors, so we can collect the data and we know exactly at each stage of manufacturing, whether it's thumbs up or thumbs down, or where's the room to improve. So you look at this is the 2019 Big Data Expo. So one thing we have to mention, 5G for sure. We have more scenarios to realize the application of 5G. And this is China Mobile. Inside, well, we have a lot of interesting stuff waiting for us to find out. And you can see a long line up here because we're all eager to know how 5G can change our life. We know 5G have a lot of really the good examples and a lot of really good advantages. So we talk about exactly how we can really feel the good thing of 5G. So we talk about this is the track to guarantee the 5G application for the Expo event, right? So please educate us how really 5G change our life or how we can benefit from 5G. So this is 5G camera with high definition, so you can see the picture really clearly. So we zoom in, you can see the character so clear. And also even you can see the pattern or the texture of the stone, how we realize it. Of course, one, the high definition of the camera, and more important, we can talk about actually the speed. Internet speed is so high. And you can see actually the picture is no shaking. So you can see this is the Nanning River of Guiyang. This is a river. You can see the flow, right? You can see just pictures, just so clear. And this is actually our camera is 100 meters away from the river. So we can see there is no latency. So that's also one of the biggest highlight of 5G is very low latency. So what we would like to show our viewers, so for the 5G, high speed, low latency. So what is the future application scenario? We talk about the public security, the traffic administration. Actually, they can use 5G, right? So what exactly we can benefit? So of course, for the public security, it's really good for our police to use these live pictures to guarantee the safety of our public, right? And what else we can do with 5G? We talk about this is intelligent eyes. So look and see, this is our staff actually wearing a pair of glasses, I believe. So this is kind of a glass. This is a 5G. We talk about smart glasses. So actually, the data actually operated backstage with 5G. You look at the facial recognition information collection actually all rely on 5G. So we talk about actually we really want to realize this in 4G, but actually 4G not that capable to help us do all these. So we talk about right now we are using 4G, but talk about the data transmission. It's okay for our day-to-day usage, but for this kind of the a large number of data transaction, or we talk about data transmission, and we also talk about we need to have a very smooth picture transmission that really have a higher requirement on internet speed. So that's why 4G not that capable to help us to realize it. So that's why right now we have 5G. So this is a shared picture. Then we talk about what exactly this can help us in the future. We talk about for the public security, for the security check. And also we talk about the crimes. So for our police, when they're doing their day-to-day inspections, through the camera, actually, they can capture the facial information and you can see exactly from the backstage because we have the database. So that person's information will display on the screen. We will know whether this is the crime we're looking for or not. So right now you can look at this is our stuff. So you know the information, which company they work for. This all rely on our big database. So we talk about this is our 5G guarantee cards. Of course, you give a great support for the 5G application at this venue. So this is a special platform we built for Expo. So look at it for the railway stations, for the hotels, and also for the surrounding communities. You look at the core index, all included here by different categories. So we will have DA analysis at the backstage to make sure the key scenarios, the key themes, all captured and monitored. So we can tell actually 5G is fully covered at the venue, right? Actually, we not only limited ourselves to provide 5G service at this venue, in the future, we talk about 5G era. So you can see we'll have more content included. So for talk about the speed, will be much faster. So we talk about 2019 will be the first year for 5G to be commercialized. It will have a big room for 5G application for sure. But we talk about our smartphone. Please give me a time. When is the time we can use 5G? And we know 5G smartphones just so expensive. When do you think actually the mass market can use 5G? So we need to first think about how we can lower the cost. So this is a 5G smartphone, right? So with the improved industrial chain, so this is show you the speed. So right now we all need to do is lower the cost. I believe next year will be an affordable smartphone with 5G, right? That's around, I cannot really tell you the price, but I can tell this is from Huawei, our homemade 5G smartphone. So talk about the big names who can manufacturing, like Huawei, Xiaomi. So these two big names, of course, they have this kind of products featuring 5G. Of course, right now still under trial, not really for the commercialization. We still need to build actually these kind of base station for the future application. So talk about the 5G base station will be really costly to achieve fully coverage. So we have the different modes, so we can also think about how we can really build out the base station based on the 4G networking. So let me put it this way. We have one platform with 4G and 5G. So 4G and 5G can share the existing base station. So we talk about right now we have 4G base station. And on top of this base station, we'll add 5G features to make sure they are capable to provide both 4G and 5G service. For remote area, we will first realize 4G, but for really like this event venue, we will first realize 5G. And also make sure from 4G to 5G we have a really smooth transaction. And this is our future. 5G will change our way of life and the way of communication. Thank you so much. All right, let's find out more about other application with big data. So we are right now at Big Data Expo venue. Look at the different companies. Actually, they not really limit themselves to the traditional booth style. You can see this is quite eye tracking. And also look at this is the China Mobile. It's also a truck here. So this is quite an innovative way. And also, actually, you can see no boring stuff here. Continue our journey. You look at the design is also quite interesting. You can see the green lights for different booths, and here is red and blue. And here is a blue plus purple. Oh, quite modern design. So let's look at what Google has here. So this is a traditional Chinese art. So this is AI plus paper cutting. So through your gestures, your hand gestures, we have quite the characters or the paper cutting characters here. So this is a shadow art. So from different your hand gesture, whether you can have a right-crowned crane or what kind of animals you can get. So this is based on the traditional Chinese art paper cutting. So this is a lot of fun. This is besides the paper cutting, we also have a shadow puppet here. This is all the Chinese traditional treasure. Oh, right. Actually, big data not only help the industrial upgrading, that's also bring a lot of fun to us. So we talk about how exactly really benefit or facilitate our way of life and how big data make us feel more secured. So look at the big data plus blockchain. So we talk about food safety. What do we have here? So through this is the equal link. So this is the big data plus blockchain. So we use this app. Let's scan it and look at whether the food we eat is safe. So we have the product name, and we talk about this product already included in the quality chain. So we look at the time of manufacturing, the time that's included into the link. So we talk about each product actually that all have its own code. Make sure they have one and only link. So, and also we can see this is a report issued by the government. So each product actually can be traced and checked through the core link. So make sure everything we have here, you can see from the raw material to the production to the packaging to the logistics and to the final stage of sales, all can be traced and checked and controlled here. So we have the time here. You look at this raw material processing. You can see actually this product, the one I just scanned, we know exactly when it starts to proceed the material, what is the time for manufacturing, and what is time for packaging. So each milestone of the whole producing chain, and actually from the very beginning to the very end, all can be traced here. And that's also good for the companies. They can very easily to find the problem and shoot the problem. Thank you. So talk about the blockchain era. A lot of the individual information, industry information, all collected. Some upload to the cloud, but we talk about how we can make sure all the information is safe and well protected. So this is company 360, a well-known Chinese brand. And they provide the technology support and solutions to make sure information is well protected. So let's look at what else 360 is having here to make sure they can protect the community safety. So we talk about this is the brain of the city. So we actually provide the 360-degree safety network. So big screen and small screen, they have different application scenes. But we look at actually this one we're doing is for communities. This is for the old communities. So this is 360 city safety brain. We're talking about smart city, right? After you have this 360 brain, if you have a stranger comes to your community, so look at this gentleman with a hat on. So we capture his information. So the numbers actually is the score we give to him. So based on his moves, we will see whether we should change the score we give to him. And you can see this is a stranger. We got his face information. So we talk about actually he come here without a bicycle, and then we found actually he had a backpack and a bicycle when he's leaving. So we will give an alarm to the renters and also to the property managers. And we also will give the information to the police. Actually, all these you can see, this is the prediction and also the alarm we can do based on this 360 safety brain. We talk about for the elderly people, so especially for the elderly people living by themselves, we look at the utilities, the gas they use. So we talk about the big data. Actually, we collect the data from all different aspects. So from different angles, we will make our analysis. So this is a elder person living by himself. You look at it, this is when he goes out at 6 o'clock and come back at around, let's say, 7:30. And also we talk about this is his daily routine. And we talk about actually he exercised in the evening for half an hour, but right now we can see he actually exercised for 2 hours, but still not come back. So we will bring this information to the community managers or his family members. So this is actually what protect and give our care to the elderly people. We talk about actually the elderly people if they have the difficulties at home, but no one really knows it. So we can really give it a early alarm. So we talk about especially for the elderly people, if they fall in a faint at home, we still do not need to really go inside the room. We can really have this alarm and send to the community managers or to their family members. So we talk about especially the gas usage, utility usage, all these actually we can, based on the data analysis, to give the alarm to the people in charge. So we talk about the gas linkage, all can be detected. So we talk, of course, we need to have a sensor, right? So that will be in each household or just have one in their community. Electricity actually easy to use. Actually, that electricity is easily to transmit for waters and also for the other facilities that we also work with our partners. For us, we provide the solution. We provide the big brain. So each household should have that sensor in their home or just have one in their community. It's better to have one in each household. We talk about the gas, water, electricity. For new communities, of course, it's very easy to have one installed. We talk about actually elderly people living by themselves. It's better to really have one for these group of people. So we talk about actually right now the meters. Actually, we have one for each household, but for the all the communities, especially for the household with only one elderly people, so it's better to have one sensors in their home, so we can find the issues at an early time. Thank you so much. All right, let's find out more how big data work with different sectors. We talk about big data safety. We talk about the big data module and algorithm. So we talk about, especially for elderly people living by themselves, how we can really find the problem in the early time. So we should know exactly their daily routine. We need to have this kind of scenes that are fully analyzed, so we know actually when is the time they're going outside, when it's time they're coming back home. So this is their behavior habit and also what kind of the really dangerous scenarios. We talk about actually amnesia, especially is the disease with the elderly people. So we need to know exactly what kind of scenarios that frequently apply to the elderly people. Let me show you a story. So you know how big data bring the benefit to us and how we can establish the modules like the big data plays role. So there are many books with big data application for university students. They have exams for each terms, for each semesters. So we talk about the computer games. A lot of university students are really addicted to the gamings that may impact their study. So we talk about only rely on one exam cannot really reflect their days in school. So we need to rely on big data to look at whether they show up in the universities in different classes or they absent from the classes. So we can know earlier about whether the students addict to the gaming or not. We also can send the information to their families, to their parents, to the teachers. So before the final exams, we know exactly whether students can do a good job in their studies, in schools. So this kind of the application with big data. So 5G is a really hot topic here in the 2019 Big Data Expo. So China Mobile, and this is China Unicom. They are the leading companies in the telecommunication. So let's look at this is the remote control. So we talk about actually here we can control these equipment in Guizhou, Guiyang, and we can control this one in Hebei, Shijiazhuang. So this is talk about the remote control. So we talk about how 5G plus big data change our way of life. So we talk about we need to have a live analysis based on the data we collect. So based on the current 4G service, still the latency is quite high. So under the 5G support, so big data can really realize IoT, make sure everything can be connected. And we also have the data that can come back and forth smoothly with low latency. So this is the booth with China Telecom. Let's say what they are offering to us. And this kind of application will be very soon part of our life. So this is a 5G simulation of the public transportation. This is a bus. So this is a face recognition screen. So what this for? So this is a simulation of a bus. So this is the booth with China Telecom. So first, I look at this is the facial recognition, and this is for payment. And also here, with 5G network, so we also have these pictures to the operation platform. So this is a live picture. So we talk facial recognition. Actually, this is for payment, right? So why we have this kind of application? We talk about the 3G era. We need to rely on a card for payment. For 4G time, we can realize like WeChat or Alipay to realize the payment. For 5G, we can realize on face recognition Just scan your face and pay the fee for the public transportation. We talk about this the good strengths of 5G is the low latency and a high internet speed. All can be realized based on 5G. You do not need to worry whether you forget your wallet or don't have the pennies with you. Don't need to worry. Just scan your face. Your face is everything, like a QR code. Just scan your face, everything will be paid. So right now, because this is simulation, so my information, my facial information already captured at the backstage. Then we talk about really depend on the lights, right? So what is time when it's really hard to recognize our face? What we can do? We talk about actually we not only rely on one module, we talk about we have the IR that will be very soon on top of the current application. So this is still under the trial stage. We talk about because today you look at this is the blue lights or green lights. So it impacts our system. But for the real scenario, just the white lights. So that's just the normal lightings. So that really impacts the application. So why we really rely on 5G? Why not 4G? We already have this facial recognition. A lot of the facial information actually already can be included in the big data base. So we talk about where we stole that base. Why 5G? Why we need to wait for 5G? Right now for community, some of the community, they already realized the facial recognition. So they scan your face and the door opened. You can enter to your community. Look at Guiyang. Actually, we have more than 5 million population. And we also have the tourists that come into Guiyang. We don't have their facial information, right? So we really want to roll out to the whole nation, make sure each and every person in China can be realized by their face, right? So right now we say it's like whether you can scan the code and upload your information. Like we talk about a WeChat, Alipay, actually we talk about Alibaba or Tencent. They also can link to our platform to upload the information of face and also work with the public security administration. So as long as they upload their ID card information, we can link to the public security network. So you do not need to upload any information. As long as you have your ID card, all your information actually will be included in the base. So this is the first step. When I get on the bus, I scan my face, I pay the fee. And you also can have your phone. So this is the real scenario. Yes, this is the 5G bus right now running inside Guizhou. So So we have this 5G bus already in our daily life. This is in Guiyang. You can see this is a live picture from this 5G bus. So this is our colleague. And we can talk to her. So right now we right now experiencing the a 5G transmission. We see the very clear picture. Would you please say hi? So we also can hear her voice. So right now we are on the 5G bus sponsored by China Telecom. So you can see, we can see her and hear her voice. She is right now in a running bus with 5G network. And this is not only 5G, also 4K. So it's a running bus, right? We talk about actually for the whole route already covered by 5G. Yes. Along the route, actually, we have 5G facilities. So we look at, this is a live transmission. So we look at right now the 5G base station still under trial stage. So at the very initial stage, we also consider the cost. So we see actually each base station, they're not really close to each other. So that's, you can see a little bit delay. And for CPE terminal, we not really have the 5G terminal, and that's also impact the speed. So we talk about in the future, we'll have more and more 5G base station, and also with the improved industrial chain, because all these relies on the 5G facilities. In the later stage, when it's fully commercialized, you will see actually the experience will be much better. But still, we can see actually compared to 4G, we can see really the high definition live picture. This is especially on a running bus. So we talk about actually the bandwidth is much better. We talk about for the drivers. Actually, we also have 5G application. We not only for each bus, actually, we also have the application for the whole industry of public transportation. So we talk about this is for drivers, right? So we also monitor their driving behavior. So this is called the DSM, so the driver status monitoring. So let's say if I pretend I'm a driver, right? So they can give an early alarm when the system found the behavior is abnormal. So okay, let me experience a little bit. So this is driver status monitoring system. So we talk about actually fatigue driving. You can see this can be found through the system. because my eyes are closed. Or let's say I receive a phone call while driving. You can see another alarm sent to me. And also smoking will be sent the alarm. So how we realize it? How you know exactly the driver have this kind of wrongdoing? So why 5G is still the end? We talk about right now 4G can also realize it, right? But why we rely on 5G? Why we need to wait? For the system, of course, we first rely on the cameras with high definition, like say receiving phone call or fatigue driving. We can see there from their facial expression. This kind of live picture will upload to the cloud platform. And we will do the comparison. Of course, there are a lot of different algorithms involved. And the information will send back to the drivers as an alarm. Why 5G? 5G highlight is like from the end-to-end application. So we talk about, we all know that right now, because a lot of people, if they using 4G, then we can see actually the speed of the internet is quite slow, and also maybe impact the system. So if we talk about, if we rely on the existing equipment, we cannot really add on the new service or the application scenarios on it. Can we see it in a very plain language? So why we have this? We talk about if the driver actually has that fatigue driving. 4G cannot really send the alarm, but 5G can, right? So we talk about number one. We can really record and trace the driver's behavior. That also linked to their KPI. And we'll also upload the live picture to cloud. And the car actually also can be controlled remotely, so we can lower the risks, right? Because 5G has really low latency. Actually, we also can control the bus remotely. This is a really highlight for the system. Thank you. We talk about 5G plus big data really can apply to different scenarios and sectors. 5G empower big data, and we also can see a lot of different variety scenarios can be used this 5G. So we talk about the facial recognition for payment, and also we talk about the driver's behavior also will be monitored lively, and also can send the early warning to the driver. So we talk about all these can be realized under 5G period. And also actually the bus can be controlled remotely. So we can make sure the people on board are safe. All these should be rely on 5G, because 5G, two things. Number one, low latency. Number two, high internet speed. We talk about actually these are all the highlight products. Sounds so high-tech. Let's find out something interesting about 5G application. So there is another line up here, what they are waiting for. So let's see what we have here. This is another facial recognition. So we look at, actually this is a company called Guizhou. So by recognizing your facial information, you can know exactly where is another you in China. So basically, if you are the registered user with this company, then by scan your face, we will find where is another you in China. You can see the gentleman all with glasses. Let's look at where is another me. So let's see. Oh, the gentleman here, we look the same or look quite similar? Yes, I think so. With glasses, for sure. I think it looks the same. I would really like to take a picture. I think it look quite the same. So this is the event. So basically find another you. So this is really on the Guizhou's big data. So we talk about, we have the more than 10 billion video clips on our platform. And we have more than 15 million new videos uploaded. So through the facial recognition, actually, we can really find the person looks really like the person. So as the should be the user, right? Actually, you look at, of course, glasses is one of the typical icon. But actually, it's just like another your brothers or sisters. So we talk about the facial recognition. Actually, will also involve the machine learning. So you can see they will provide more and more precise result. Let's look at the young gentleman. You guys look just the same. I don't think so. Thank you so much. We talk many times 5G. We talk about remote driving. We talk about the telemedicine. All rely on 5G because it's low latency. We can do a remote operation. So what you have here, this is a scenario of 5G telemedicine, right? This is the telemedicine application. So how you operate it. So this is the with 5G environment. So CPE provide the whole networking, so the doctors can link to the remote patient. All right, let's sit down. So pretend as the patient. So what we need to do, so let's just do an example. This is the ultrasonic, type B ultrasonic. So doctor actually can use this mechanical arm to do this type B ultrasonic. So this is a telemedicine. And the doctor also can talk to the patient. So doctor can really communicate with the patient remotely but in real time. And you also can turn to different angles. I don't see any delay. So we talk about the delay, actually this is only 2 milliseconds. So let's see. I also can see the live picture of your operation. Let's move it on. Going up. So actually we also have the pressure index. So if your patient feels really pain, we also will lower the pressure. So how we can understand the result? So we have this image, right? You can see, we can see the muscle and the bone. And also the blood vessel. So we can get this. And we also can add on like the blood flow, so we can know more about the information. All this can reflect to this image. So we can know his name, gender. And the report actually can be shared with the doctor and also the patient. And this is the telemedicine. This is just only for the type B ultrasonic, and also we talk about operation. 4G networking is not that stable, but we talk about 5G, we say yes, very high possibility. Because still right now 5G not fully covered, we can only do, of course, ultrasonic. The diagnosis, this is for sure, but to talk about 5G after everything's matured, we can realize this remote operation. That day will come for sure. So for the remote patients, we talk about people living, especially the ethnic minorities, they live in the really deep mountain area. So we also can bring this kind of the state-of-art diagnosis to those people living in remote areas. So we talk about the telemedicine and also other applications in the medical sectors based on 5G. Last year in Guizhou area, we talk about the county level hospitals all have this telemedicine. We talk about the county level, they can link to the city level hospitals and also provide diagnosis to the village level clinics. We talk about actually based on these cutting edge technologies, the ACT level doctors can really give advice and also help to county level and even village level doctors for the medical diagnosis and also give the treatment. There are a lot of things can be realized and can be done with 5G. We talk about one day, we also can do a quite complex remote operation. This year, 2019 Big Data Expo, we not only have the Chinese companies, we also have companies from other countries, from Russia, UK, France, Czech Republic. You can see have the people coming to their booths and talk to the people from their companies. All right, let's see what Russia has. So what?
Hello, we are going on live. So can you give us a brief introduction of your product and how it employ and use the technology of big data?
Yeah, that's right. It's a good question. We came from Russia. They call Napoleon IT, and we developed the software for retail companies that with computer vision helps to analyze what's going on inside the store. This analytics helps to make business more efficient. You can even avoid any of employees inside the store. The computer does everything, analyzes behavior patterns, some merchandising tasks. Everything should be done by computer vision. And that.
它的这个系统是一个软件系统，它软件系统是运用到这个零售。
So this is software system and used for the retail sector. So look at this is supermarket or grocery stores. You look at these. We have the CCTV in each supermarket, so we can know exactly the behaviors happen inside the retail store. You look at the people, how they shop, and also the products on the shelf. How we can increase the efficiency of our operation, and also how we can provide a better security work. And we talk about right now, we do not need really the human being, the human-free supermarket that also you can see, you can recognize the person, the product. So we talk about we don't need a human being involved. But if someone really try to steal something, how you find it?
Persons and the merchandise. So if someone is a shoplifter, so how does the system prevent or to alarm this kind of behavior?
In the future of retail, there would be no employees inside the store, and we should prevent some thieves to prevent some robbery in the store. And this system can be taught by some cases. If, for example, some took the product and didn't pay for that, the system will alarm and help security to avoid this in the future. So it can be taught with different business scenarios, with different tasks. It just depends what kind of business process should you implement inside this artificial intelligence platform.
那能不能结合画面它的这个制作的视频有没有这些相关的能够结合视频？
Can we show us some information through your video clip so we know exactly like the real-time scene comprehension? So we talk about this is quite smart system because it can learn by itself. So by learning different cases, so we talk about like the shift cases happened, then we know that this is a risk and also can make the alarm.
In this video, how this system works.
For example, the customer took one item from the shelf and didn't pay. So the system knows what kind of product he took in his hand. The system knows if this person went through the payment system or not. It depends. It depends what the goal of the system. Sometimes it's necessary to know the behavior, to know what kind of products people like, to know what kind of shelves they prefer to choose. It depends. It should be set by the owner, by the customer, the future customer. But generally, in the future of retail, there will be no securities, nothing. It's just only the camera with high definition camera that does everything that should be to provide a great customer experience for people.
就是在它这个系统里面，大家可以看到。
So if you look at the system, actually not only recognize people, also recognize the products in their hands. You look at this person actually holding the chocolates or the chocolate sauce. Actually, all these can be recognized and collected at the backstage, so we know exactly their behavior or their shopping behavior.
还有一个是说，它在以后还有在这些场景里面，它可能人们的行为也会受到这种监控，或者是
So we actually,
这是在这个
you look at this is in store. There's misplaced item grabs
未来实现的就是说，一个商店，一个零售商店，它完全就
or hidden items that we talk about actually in the future for retail. You only need one camera with high definition and the system,
小的商店。
and you can operate a retail.
商店一个小超市来布置的。
So this is kind of the a scenario of the retail, right? So
representation of the scenario of a supermarket. Yeah. So how can maybe can you
或者问问他在他们俄国或者其他的国家，他的这个系统
we'll talk about
得到一些应用。
the system already commercialized in Russia, or what kind of scenario?
This system has already been applied in convenience stores or maybe.
This system
In
works
Russia.
at this moment in Russia. The system works in the United States, and we think that the Chinese market is super upgrowing market, has a great potential to implement these technologies for China retail companies. You know the Hema shop. They do their best to provide the retail business with a great customer experience, and we think these technologies could be also help China retail industry to make more efficient business, to grow fastly, to grow rapidly, extend margin, and make better profit. And as for our stand, so we just shown some different scenarios, some use cases of how it works, how intelligence pricing systems work with e-labels, for example, because in the future of retail, all prices should be done automatically by artificial intelligence. They collecting all the big data. That's why we came here. They collect the prices from competitors. They collect weather forecast, traffic, everything. And then analyzing elasticity, they making the artificially make the best price possible for the different scenario. For example, for extending margin or making better traffic.
他说了很多，我听到了，他说到了中国的盒马这么一个卖这个生鲜的。
So he
对，他
mentioned the
说
big
这个
name
系统其实
Hema,
已经
right?
在俄罗斯还有
Right,
美
yes.
国的一些
Right now, we talk about this system already used by the retailers from Russia and the US. And why he's here in China? Because he really likes to explore the Chinese market, of course, with the huge opportunities waiting for us in China.
品牌，它在做零售的时候很注重大家的这个。
So Hema actually really touch great importance on efficiency and a consumer's experience. So that's why he's here to see whether we have the opportunity for cooperation with Chinese brands for the smart retail.
牌的设置呢，
So look at the whole stance. Quite simple, but the highlight is here. E-label. Of course, it's a simulation, but we talk about in the future, all these will be a e-label. So the backstage will collect the information. We know like what's the price with competitors. We know the weathers and the traffic. The pricing actually will change automatically to provide the best margin for the shop owner. Very smart. That's a good neighbor with China and also along the BRI. We hope you all the best and good luck in China to find more partners so we have more DA shops can use your system.
As we know that Russia is a partner in the Belt and Road. So we wish your company can be partner construct partnerships with our companies in the future. So we can build more and more smart supermarkets in China.
Okay, yeah, that's right, absolutely. The strategy of Belt and Road, I think that involves also my country, and I would say making this kind of events like a big data conference happening in this beautiful city that helps to make cooperation between Russian and Chinese companies more better. And actually I was impressed by the city, I was impressed by the hospitality, by the level of infrastructure. So this place and this event totally changed my mind about China future, and the future, as you know, is absolutely truly related with the big data, and you guys doing great things providing this kind of event in the middle of China. Thank you for a great event. Thanks to Guiyang. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. 拜拜。所以他好，咱们一边走一边说，就是他其实到最后的时候呢，就是说到了“一带一路”。
Talk about Belt and Road Initiative. This is really a good project, and the program provide a lot of DA partnership and also the opportunities brought by BRI. So that is also why he's here. So and also he really gave a great appreciation to Big Data Expo, because here we also have a lot of DA partnerships that can be built. Not only limited to data, and also we can have the cooperations in terms of the technologies and also with different countries. Guiyang is really a good place. Really amazed the gentleman. So based on his experiences, he actually really think China have a great potential to be unlocked in the future. I believe he also studied a lot about China's big data development. Talk about China with a large population. We have so many shops, so many retail stores waiting for his system. We will see whether his system can be better localized and bring the benefits to the Chinese consumers. So he mentioned about Hema, right? We already have a lot of Hema stores rolled out to the Chinese regions, and I believe he had a really good study about Chinese market. So that's why he's saying China had a great potential. So here, what we have here, this is a 4G printing. You look at this is with the help of a mechanical arm. Rana is doing a printing, but the material is metal. Next to it, this is a self-driving experience zone. So this is also a quite hot topic, but still we talk about commercialization or the technology part, still feel a lot of uncertainties. So let's look at self-driving. So what's the scenario here? So we base on the real scenario build this experience zone. So look at the the turns, the barriers on the road. So we talk about the expressway, and also we talk about normal city roads. This kind of quite a complex scenario can self-driving capable for commercialization. So we talk about actually at the very initial stage, we still do the trial in the industrial park or a well-organized road. That's also based on the current Chinese laws and regulations. So we talk about, although this is a closed environment, but how we talk about the avoiding obstacles. We talk about safety. That's for sure is most frequently mentioned word. So we first have the whole route planning. So all the information along the route will need to first collect all these informations. And also have the sensors and the lasers on top of the car. And we'll also look at the obstacles, passengers. All should be in the database. So we can make the reactions based on the information and the data we have. So we use different lasers to help us do this self-driving, right? Yeah. So how many people waiting here? I can tell you it's just non-stop. We always have a long line up here. So the route is fixed, right? So what else? What other scenarios? Talk about self-driving application. We talk about maybe not really have the goods or passenger on board. We talk about actually the ATM, or we talk about the coffee machine. Just use your smartphone. You can have the remote vending machine, like the moving vending machine, the moving gym in front of you. So we talk about not just the self-driving car. In the future, actually, that car can be replaced as one like moving vending machine, moving gym, moving hotel. So we can see actually for the self-driving scenario, we look at how they can really make the self reactions if the car identify the obstacles or the passengers. You look at actually it's not just a straight road. We have the passengers, we have obstacles, and we also have this the zebra crossing. All these based on the real scenario. Still, self-driving cannot really realize commercialization. One, because of laws and regulations, and also they need to really make ground-breaking technology to guarantee the safety. If they cannot really make sure 100% safety of driving or moving, then that actually bring the risk to the passengers on board and also to the passengers on the road. But still, one day we believe self-driving technology will be realized because a lot of car-making companies redouble their efforts to realize this technology. We talk about these technology that are already in the use, like to really help you to driving, to really help you give your alarm to avoid the obstacles. All these actually are part of the self-driving technologies. So we look at the Dell, ZTE, China Mobile, China Unicom, China Telecom. Besides these big names, we also have the area for startups, for SMEs. So this is also a really good platform to show their muscles and also to see whether they have the opportunities for partnership with other companies and also companies from other countries. So at Guiyang, we have a lot of startups in the areas of big data. So we can see the SMEs also make some game-changing development for themselves. So here, look at this is SMEs. Let's also look at what they provide their products and services to really like a big data play its role to benefit the industry or people's life. So we also work for the manufacturing industry. Also, we will also talk about how we can do the solid waste disposal, and we talk about the big data, and also we talk about this kind of the big plant. Why we need the big data to help us to really tear down or dismantle this kind of the plant. So before they teared down, we collect the information, and based on our analysis, we actually give them the solution how you dismantle this kind of factory. So we can see we have the robots and also the drones to use, right? Yes. You do not need to have the human being to help you to do all this work. Like this kind of industrial projects, so this is also high risk. So we also have the live data monitoring system developed by ourselves. So we have an on-site control. So we have this kind of the all-day monitoring. We talk about whether that's the toxic gas also can be detected and also give the warning to the staffs. So make sure this dismantle work operate in a very safe way. And for individuals, we also have the hammer and also other equipment and applications to protect their safety. So all we need to do is we want to maximize the safety for all the individuals involved on site. So talk about your company. From the very beginning, we just do the quite normal dismantle work. We not really rely on big data. That's the early days. Right now, thanks to the development of digital economy, we would really like the innovation and technology to driven our business. So based on big data, based on all these technologies, we can realize the very safe and green work and also maximize our profit. So this is their real experience from the very early days to right now. With big data's help, their business really changed a lot. So you can see right now they can do in a very green and safe way to tear down this kind of plants. We talk about big data actually that can apply to different industries and also change our way of life and way of work. I also would like to tell our viewers, big data not only change the material world, and also actually change way of thinking and also change the whole architecture of society. Let's looking forward how 5G and big data help us and benefit our life.